This is going to be my opinion on the Lids Hat Drop releases. If you feel differently and people having different opinions on the internet offends you, this might not be the video for you to watch. You might want to go ahead and exit out, watch something else. If people having different opinions shakes you up like a can of soda, you just can't handle it, this ain't the video for you. Because I'm going to say what I got to say, and we going to rank these hat releases. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If it is the first time you're touching down on this channel, welcome to Small Feet, Big Heat. We talk sneakers, we talk streetwear, and everything in between. Today's video is one that I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time. I had this idea in mind for since last year, but I kept putting it off to the point where I just couldn't do it. So this year I was like, nah, we're gonna knock these videos out. So today I'm gonna be ranking Lids Hat Drop releases. If you're not familiar with a tier ranking, you basically have S at the top for superior, and then you have A to D, just like it would normally be. A through D. All right, so the first release we ranking is the Casino Pack, which I think was Lids Hat Drop first Lids HD release. It was the first one that they ever posted on their Instagram page, so I'm pretty sure that was a pretty special moment for them. And the hats came in two different colorways. It was like High Roller and Aces or something like that. The hats were clean, the colorways were clean. It wasn't my favorite Lids Hat Drop release, so I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna put the Casino Pack at a B. I'm gonna give it a B because there are some other Lids Hat Drop releases in here that I like better. Now the Manolo Pack is up next. The Manolo Pack was fire. Like, the Manolo Pack went crazy. I love the Manolo Pack from Hat Club. Of course, I'm gonna love it with the New York spin because I'm from New York. That's definitely an S tier collection in my opinion. I know some people may have their thoughts on it, you know, hat politics and all of that craziness. I don't get involved with that. A good hat is a good hat. We're gonna move on to Lasso now. Now, if y'all remember, I did a live cop during the Lasso drop because that hat collection was crazy. The details, like the piping, the colorway, crazy. Really good job coming from Lids Hat Drop. But they sent me the wrong size and I ended up having to send the hat back. So I'm gonna put this one at an A because I really did like it, but I'm not gonna say that it was superior. Next is their Mint collection, I believe it was called. This was black hats with like minty accents. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one at a D. This is gonna be the first D of the video. And if I give a collection a D ranking, it doesn't mean that the drop was trash or I didn't even like it. It just means that I can think of many collections that I would put above that drop. The next couple of collections was basically from this like ice cream run that Lids Hat Drop was on. They did a couple of ice cream themed drops. The first of which was Mint Chocolate Chip. Mint Chocolate Chip was my least favorite out of the ice cream drops. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a C. I'm gonna give it a C. And I might go back, tweak some things the further along we get. So make sure you watch the video all the way to the end. The next one was Neapolitan. I like the Neapolitan more than I like the Mint Chocolate Chip. So it definitely has to go above Mint Chocolate Chip. I think I'm gonna throw it. Yeah, we gotta do some adjusting already. I'm gonna put Neapolitan at a C. I'm gonna put Mint Chocolate Chip at a D. All right, and they took a little break. They did Crown Royal inspired hats. These were cool. I like these. I just think the color combination wasn't for me personally. I'm gonna go ahead and put it at a B. Next, we have Banana Split. Y'all know Banana Split was one of my favorite collections from Lids Hat Drop last year, so S tier collection right there. Next from Lids Hat Drop was Candy Corn, and I wasn't feeling Candy Corn. Didn't really like these. The orange was cool, but like that yellow undervisor, I wasn't feeling. I don't even like candy corn. So that color combination on a hat, I'm good. I believe these next two were like festival themed, like music festival themed hats or something like that. It was opening act and main stage. So this first one was opening act. I did not care for these. So that's gonna be a D for me. Main stage was a little bit better. I'm gonna go ahead and put it at a C. It definitely does get better. I feel like a lot of Lids Hat Drop's early collections weren't my personal taste, but it got much better in the later of the year. Next up is the Laser Pack, and I'm not 100% sure, but these might have been like Buzz Lightyear kind of inspired hats because I know the Lasso was inspired by Woody from Toy Story. So the Laser Pack might have been Buzz Lightyear, but not too sure about that. These, they're gonna go in the D tier too. Sorry. Next was the Day of the Dead collections. There were two of these. So one was Sugar Skull and one was Night Sky. This one right here is Sugar Skull. I'm gonna put it at a D. I wasn't a fan. And unfortunately, Night Sky is gonna go right next to it. Again, it doesn't mean that the hats are dirt. D doesn't stand for dirt. It just means that there's plenty of collections that I would take between, like if you put those two hats in front of me, I'm gonna go with a different collection every time. Next was the wool collection. I was a big fan of this one. How could you not be? Traditional colors, team colors in wool instead of polyester. You can't go wrong. That was an S tier collection. Up next is powder blue. I was a big fan of the piping again on this one, just like I was with the lasso collection. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this at a B. I love that pack. That was a great pack. Like, it's different and it's kind of crazy, but it's not too out there to where it's too crazy for even me. Next, we have Bunny Hop, which was Lids HD like Easter collection, and shout out to Lids because they actually did send me the Texas Rangers from this collection. I love that hat. I love what they did with the sweatband. It has like a picnic vibe sweatband on there. Great collection. I wouldn't quite call it S tier, but I'll give it an A for sure. Desert Pine is up next, another collection that I really liked. This one is gonna go right next to the Bunny Hops. I like that collection a lot. Next is the Toasted Pastry Drop from Lids HD. And sometimes you really just have to like sit on hats, which you can kind of do now that hats are sitting and you have time to think about it. But I feel like sometimes when you look at a hat, the more you look at it, sometimes it grows on you. You see little details that you didn't see at first and stuff like that kind of happens. That's what happened with me and the Toasted Pastry Drop, because at first I was like, okay, the Cincinnati Reds goes crazy, but the rest of them are kind of eh. But now, that whole pack was fire. That whole pack was fire. When I was going back to pull the pictures for this video, that whole pack was heat. That was an S tier drop. The next collection, Mossy Haze, was kind of the opposite effect. I know I really liked it when they first showed the images for it, and the more I sat on it, I was like, oh, these hats are all right. Like, they're good hats, but I don't think I need them. You know what I'm saying? So Mossy Haze was solid. I like the colorway on these a lot. I'm gonna actually throw these in, I'm gonna give them a B. Moonful Madness. Now at this time, I had not yet tried a corduroy hat, so I really wasn't checking for these. You know, the colorways, cool. I think he put them together real nice. They were executed very well. But at that point in time, wasn't really checking for them because I hadn't tried a corduroy hat and I just wasn't trying to pull the trigger. I was still very iffy about it. Now I have had the chance to try a corduroy hat and I know that I kind of rock with it. I like it. I would put this at an A. Next up, we have Champagne Poetry. Is that right? Yeah, Champagne Poetry and the cigar pack. Shout out to Lids once again because they did send me one of each. They sent me the Yankees Champagne Poetry and the Atlanta Braves cigar pack. That cigar pack, crazy. Cigar pack was really nice and I think some people definitely slept hard on that. I'm gonna give that pack an A. Champagne Poetry, I did not like as much as the cigar pack, but I did like the colorway, so it's a B. The Champagne pack also had a satin UV, and that was my first satin UV in my collection. That's when I really started to pay attention to hats with satin UVs because I liked it so much seeing it in hand on that particular hat, the Yankees from the Champagne pack. So that's definitely gonna get a B. Lids Hat Drop, School Supplies. Now a couple of other stores did do similar colorways. I know Hat Club did their kind of spin on it. New Era, I think, even did their kind of spin on it. I just wasn't a fan of this, like, the theme, I think. I just wasn't a fan of the theme. I think that's what it was for me. Because regardless of which store it came from, I just wasn't really checking for it like that. They look good. The color placement was good. The hats are executed very well. It's just none of them hit home for me where I was like, oh, that's a spend your money right there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give it a C. Cashed check. So this pack didn't have side patches on the hats. They were black hats with like filigree, I guess you would call it, embroidery on either side of the front logo. It's a cool idea. Like, you definitely get money currency vibes. Do I think that it could have been executed a little better? Yeah, if we being honest. I do think it could have been executed a little bit better. But I'm not making the hats. I'm just giving my opinion. So, but I don't think it was trash. Like, I don't think that the hats were dirt. I know a lot of people thought that the hats were terrible. I wouldn't go that far. It takes a lot for a hat to be bad. And there's definitely bad hats out there, but I don't think that these were bad hats. I would actually put these at a C. Cardinal Sunshine is up next. I really like these. I love that cardinal red on fitted hats. It just looks so good. Like, that cardinal red just hits. And whatever color you pair it with, as long as you stay within that complementary color range, you can't go wrong. So Cardinal Sunshine. Hey, we on to the Lids Hat Drop wire pack now. This was a collection that people went nuts for. Absolutely crazy. Like, a lot of people probably think this was Lids' best work all year. And I can't really argue with it. I mean, it's definitely S tier. So I actually did split them up because they released them at different times. It was the collection that I think was based off of like places and scenes first, which were these hats right here. Like that pinwheel hat was a part of this pack. I'm gonna put this one at an A because I didn't like it as much as the character inspired hats. The character inspired hats, that was the S tier pack. That was the one. So we're gonna go ahead and throw the wire pack, the hats inspired by the characters, up there on the S tier. Oceanside Peach. Now I threw this one on here just because I couldn't remember whether it was a Lids collection or a Lids hat drop collection. I tried to leave out all the Lids collections. We're just talking about Lids hat drop. But for this one, I don't really remember because I definitely think that I talked about it. Like, it was an in-store Lids drop as well, but it is on the Lids hat drop Instagram. So I'm just gonna include it. The Oceanside Peach. This was a good collection. I'm gonna put it at a C. I like colorful hats, so Roy G Biv 2.0 wasn't a bad drop in my eyes, but I do think that we saw some better colorful hats coming from Lids. So I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna put it right kind of in the middle. I'm gonna put it at a B. 125th anniversary collection. I think this one was good, definitely for more traditional hat collectors. I think if you're more of a fashion hat collector, maybe you didn't do a double take on these, but I think it was a strong collection coming from Lids Hat Drop, so I'm gonna put it at the A tier. Moon Man, I went crazy for. I love those hats. I think they were very well executed. Color placement on point. A lot of the details in that collection just were really well done. They were in their bag with that one, so I have to put that at an S tier. The core collection was another more traditional collection coming from Lids. They did stay within like team colors and traditional colors, but they had modern front logos, which I think was a nice switch up. So I'm gonna put this actually in the S tier because I did like the core collection more than I liked the 125th anniversary collection. A lot of stores made Jackie inspired hats last year, but I think Lids is one of the best collections that I saw that was Jackie inspired, or, you know, paying homage to Jackie Robinson. So I'm actually gonna put the Jackie collection or Jackie pack, whichever one you wanna call it, I'm gonna put it at an A, because I really like that one. The thermal pack from Lids HD had me on the fence. I really like thermal imagery, thermal patterns. I have shorts that are thermal. I have shirts with thermal designs on them, hoodies with thermal. Like, I really like that imagery, if you want to call it that. So I love that design choice. I love that theme, but I don't know if it really translated to hats super well in this case. So I'm gonna put the hats at a B. Strictly Business, however, was one of Lids HD's best drops last year. That definitely has to go in the A tier. That was a great drop. Even if I wasn't like a crazy fan of some of the front logos they used, some of them was just a little bit too big, too loud. For me personally, really, really good drop. The Red Rock collection is next, and some of y'all might get mad at what I'm about to say, but we saw a lot of nature-inspired hats last year. There was a lot of just nature, mountain this and blah, 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 that, just outside inspired hats. Red Rock was one of the best, if not the best, nature inspired collections that I saw last year. So that is an S tier drop in my opinion. I loved that hat collection. Very, very well executed. And I feel like the front logos and side patches were matched up perfectly, and it was a great mix for the people who like simpler logos and the people who like the bigger, louder logos. The camel collection from Lids HD, whether you liked it or not, was perfectly timed, like perfectly timed. Camel was a huge color last year as far as fitted hats. Like, people were paying insane amounts for camel colored hats. And it didn't matter necessarily where they came from. People just wanted to get their hands on stone and camel. Those were like two of the biggest colors last year. So doing a whole collection of camel and team colored two-tone hats, fire. S tier drop. The Summit collection was another like really strong outdoors, nature inspired hat collection, but I didn't like it as much as Red Rock, so I can't put it in the S tier. It's gonna go in the A tier. I feel like it's right on par with how much I also liked the Cardinal Sunshine and Strictly Business. Next was this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle inspired drop. I believe they called this the Shell Pack. Not really my style, but they weren't bad hats. I'm gonna put it at a C. I'm gonna put it at a C. Next collection we're gonna get into is the Lights Out collection. These were dope and very simple, like simple yet effective. I really like these. Gray bottoms, team color accents, black crowns, super nice. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the A tier. Sweet Treats was another really well executed pack coming from Lid's Hat Drop. I feel like when you start looking at teams that aren't your go-to teams and front logos that you don't normally pay attention to, that's how you could tell a hat is really, really well executed. And that Texas Rangers was cold. Like all of the hats were good, but that Texas Rangers was really, really nice. So this is an S tier drop in my opinion. Now we'll move on to Rock Candy. I have to admit I was not too crazy about these. I'm gonna put Rock Candy at a C. Rock Candy at a C. Spooky Pack, I did really like Spooky Pack. It was the Lid's Hat drop, you know, Halloween drop that they did. These were very nice. That was an A tier pack for me. The Quavo MLB hats. If you don't know who Quavo is, he's one of the Migos. I wasn't a big fan of these hats. Maybe if I was from Atlanta, I would have liked them a lot more. I will admit that. So I'm gonna put the Quavo collaborated hats. I'm gonna have to put it at a C. Lid's Hat Drop Old Fashioned. So these were inspired by the drink Old Fashioned. Two-tone joints like a burnt orange crown, brown for the UV. These were really nice. I like them a lot. I'm gonna put these at a B. Olive Branch. This was an NFL drop. I don't really collect NFL hats like that, so I didn't go too crazy about these. If we're just talking about the colorway, I think the colorway was solid. I would put these at a C. Rust Belt 2.0. I know a lot of people were excited about this one. Rust Belt, the original, was a very popular drop from Lids, so Rust Belt 2.0 was bound to follow that up with some heat, and I think that it was a really good drop. I mean, that colorway, it just slaps. It's a really strong colorway, so I'm gonna put this at a B, because I don't think I liked it as much as a lot of the stuff in the A tier, and definitely not as much as the stuff in the S tier. So a B seems about right. We're definitely towards the end of the year now. These are more so end of the year drops. Vigilante Pack. It really just comes down to the fact that there were better drops and drops that I liked more than the Vigilante Pack. The Vigilante Pack, I'm gonna put at a C. Season's Greetings. This kind of had like a Home Alone marketing or promo to it, but they were basically two-tone hats, kind of like a camel colored crown, red top bill, green UV, very strong colorway. The green accents in the front logos and side patches were also very nice, really well executed. That was an S tier drop for me. And coming at the end of the year, it was definitely something to get excited about. The WNBA also collaborated with Lid's Hat Drop last year. I think they cooked up some pretty good hats, especially the Comets. I was a big fan of the Comets one. And from a collector standpoint, I wear all of my hats. But from a collector standpoint, WNBA fitted hats are very far and few between. So just off the strength of that, I actually want to put this collection in the S tier. Y'all say what y'all want in the comment section. Definitely sound off about what you think about my list. If I should have switched anything, let me know in the comment section. Next, we have the Reindeer collection coming from Lid's Hat Drop. I didn't like these as much as I liked Season's Greetings as far as like that holiday feel. You know, I see the vibes, I see the reindeer vibes, but I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it as much as Season's Greetings. So I'm actually going to put these on the A tier because they were really good hats. Like, I love a brown hat. We are down to the wire. Only 2 hat drops left to talk about. The first of which is Pistachio Vera. Pistachio Vera I did like, but I don't think I liked it as much as some of the other two-tone drops that Lids did have this year or last year. So I'm going to actually put Pistachio at a B. Last drop of the year, and Lid's Hat Drop decided to hit us with Happy Hour. Happy Hour was a beer-inspired pack, and I definitely think that it was ice cold, if you want to call it that. So I'm going to drop that in the S tier, and here it is. This is my ranking for Lid's Hat Drop 2022 releases. Y'all let me know what y'all think about them down below in the comment section. I already know some of y'all are gonna have a lot to say, but that's all right. Sound off. Overall, I think Lids Hat Drop had a really strong year, and I'm looking forward to see what they hit us with in 2023. If you enjoyed today's video, remember to like, comment, subscribe, show a small YouTuber some love, and I will check y'all out in the next one.